and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. So finally, I've updated my Blankos NFT floor list. So I've not done that actually for about 6 weeks. But this is the list where, for the last getting on year or so, I've been updating pretty much every day, not quite every day, but pretty much every day, the floor price of the Blankos NFTs on the Blankos marketplace. And I do that because I'm interested in Blankos, I suppose. There are now getting on for 100 Blankos, different individual characters. I think 95 have been announced. They're not all live yet, but this list is now sort of getting bigger and bigger. We can have a look. So basically, the price, I'm looking at the cheapest price if you want to go onto the marketplace and buy one of these characters. Obviously, there's much more expensive ones, but we're just looking at what we call the floor market. I've got sort of 3 different time frames that I'm looking at here. So let's maybe go to this one. I can line it up right. So here we go. So if we compare the price now compared to the price on the 3rd of August 2021, so whatever that is, sort of 8-9 months ago, we can see some of them are still sort of have gone negative, and this tends to be because they are the more expensive ones, and there's not very many of them around, so it's very hard to price them. So these were overpriced back in the day, back in August when the marketplace was just sort of going live. These were priced too expensively. Now they've come down. In some cases, not very much. In some cases, quite a lot, because Billy Sixbones, there's only 10 of them, and they were being, even now $50,000 compared to $1 million or something at the time. That people were trying to get away with them. So that's sort of what's going on there. Obviously, more positively, I suppose, if we look down, the one that's gone up the most value was Gorilla Samurai. That was worth, I think, $20 back in the day, and now it's worth $98. So that's the value. So we can see over a long period of time, most of these have gone up in value compared to if you were buying them back in August. We can have a look at from October. So October, that date was chosen because the 3rd of August was when people could first start sort of trading them, but only a small group of people. On the 2nd of October, basically anyone could buy and sell. So we'll have a look at a graph sort of showing this better. But this is sort of the 2nd of October was sort of like you could see it as a low point, really. So we can see here a lot more of these, if you were buying them on the 2nd of October, have actually gone down in value. They're not gone down that much, they've gone down by a third, but we can see a whole bunch of these were overpriced, and some of them underpriced. So this particular one here, this Atom one, if it's gone up 163%, that's partly, well, that is because there's this new system where you can burn these and create new versions of it. So this was very cheap. Basically was under $10, and now it's valuable because you can create new versions by basically leveling them up and burning them. These ones here we'll sort of look at. Billy Bones, Space Girl, and Peanut. These were the first to be available to mint over to the Ethereum blockchain. So this is all running on the sort of a closed blockchain, and now you can mint some of these over to Ethereum. So these rose in value quite a lot because people were minting them over to Ethereum and selling them off for a higher price. And finally, we can look here at what's been going on from the 1st of Jan 2022. So 3 months so far, and we can see here. Still, some of them have gone down in price. Again, it tends to be these more expensive early stage ones that have been the price has gone down on. The price of the majority of them has gone up a little bit. Again, some of them has gone up quite a lot. Boss Dino, this is because, again, this is one of these ones. These 4 here are ones that you can now mint on Ethereum. Actually, there's a whole bunch now. There was 4 in the first wave. Now there's about 25 or so that you can now mint on the Ethereum blockchain, and that's basically driven like sort of an increase in price because there's a sort of arbitrage opportunity where you can take buy some of the cheaper ones on the marketplace in Blankos, then pay the gas fee, currently about $50, take them over to Ethereum, and then sell them on OpenSea for probably about $100 markup at the lowest price we're seeing. So that's driving a lot of the sort of change now. So that's what's going on. This is the basic data. Let's have a quick look and see where that data comes from. So this is the marketplace. So on the marketplace, we can sort of see the Blankos that are for sale. There's some accessories as well, but basically we can look at the Blankos. So we can see here, these are all the Blankos, and the cheapest Attitude is $75. So that's where I'm taking my data from. And we can also see here, we can see what is being traded. So Scarlet Crash number 3015 just sold for $13. So we can, this is basically where we get the data from. And if you want to trade them, this is where you can see what's going on. In terms of the Ethereum bridging, you do that within the dashboard here. But basically, what happens is that you end up here. So this is the Blankos Block Party page on OpenSea, which is the big NFT marketplace for mainly for Ethereum. Does some other blockchains as well. But here we can see what's been going on. So not a lot's been happening. There was this massive spike here on March the 20th, just before a whole bunch of other Blankos were announced that you could bridge over. So we had over, can't really see that, over 1,216 sales on that one day. So not many other sales. We can see actually here, there's only been three sales today. So basically, there's a couple of a handful of sales going through every day. Not a vast amount at the moment. If you look at the actual items, these are, so we can see these are all boxed Blankos. Some of these are unboxed, so these have been used in the game, leveled up. These ones have been actually sort of mashed up so that they're different color scheme. That's one of the things you can do. But most of these are being sold boxed, and the cheapest one here is 0.39 ETH. So obviously it depends on the ETH value. But we can see here that's going to be, what's that going to be, $130. That's the cheapest one if you want to buy that one. And obviously there are, as I say, now there's about 25 different Blankos you can see. So there's a Clown, Space Girl. This is a Bergersan, Octoid, Deadwood. I mean, go through and see. Generally, the cheaper ones have come over. So there's a lot of Clowns because Clown is one of the cheaper ones to buy. So you're getting the bigger markup there. This box one is more expensive, $100. I think that sold out originally. So there are some, I wouldn't say bargains, but different options. But generally, we're seeing the ones that are available here are the first four. So Billy Bones, this Ghost White Robot, Peanut, and Space Girl. But then some other ones, Dazzle here. That's mint condition there. Some other ones are being coming over as well. So anyway, there is some sort of trading going on, and that's what's sort of increasing the price. And let's have a look at the. Okay, so this is basically if you combine if you add up the floor price of all the Blankos that are available on a day-to-day basis, and do basically see how that changes over time. So this is coming back to the August date when I was first looking at in my data. So we can see here when the first people when the marketplace was open and people could start a few people could start buying and selling. Most people could only buy, so this drove the price up quite a lot. You can see here a massive price increase up to 500%. When everyone could buy and sell, the price came back down to basically where it was before. I guess is what we would expect. Actually went down a little bit. So that was the sort of thing that was happening last autumn, last fall. This sort of weird restrictive pricing up and down, and then since then we've sort of had these smaller increases. And what we see here is when the first bridging happened. So let's look at that in a bit more detail. So this is 2021. So this is the 1st of January. That other one of those other data points we were looking at. So actually, for most of January, the price was actually going down somewhat. So almost went down 10%. Again, this is over the entire collection. So you have to be sort of a little bit careful with the data you're sampling. The price of the more expensive ones would obviously have a bigger impact on the price of the less expensive ones. But anyway, it went down, and then suddenly the Ethereum bridging was announced, and even though that was only 4 or 5 Blankos, this massive increase happened. So like a 30% effectively over a couple of days increase in the overall price. Then over time, it went back down to zero. So that sort of price sort of mechanic went away, partly because all the arbitrage was happening, and no one really wanted to buy the Blankos that were being produced, and so that was the demand side dropped up, and the supply side eventually dried up as well. And then we've had this over the last week with this other bridging announcement. So now, I mean, over time, all the Blankos NFTs will be allowed to be bridged. They're just doing it in stages. And we see here another massive increase, actually, bigger than the first one. Again, it's sort of dropping off a little bit, but that's sort of what's driving this sort of price. So even though not all the Blankos can be bridged to Ethereum, announcing 4 or 5 has this massive increase over the entire collection. Then announcing the 24 has another big increase. Again, I would imagine over time this will drop down again because there's no point keep bridging them over. buying them on one side and bridging them over if there's no demand on the Ethereum side. On the OpenSea side, obviously there's only a few being bought a day, so we still need to have that sort of integration into other NFT worlds, I suppose. Just pick up the news here. There's a new drop happening. That's not looking at what we're looking at here. Okay, the ETH bridge update. So here we go. So this is what happened on the 30th of March. These are these Blankos were announced that could be taken over to Ethereum. So basically, pay the gas fee to bridge them over from the mythical blockchain to the Ethereum blockchain. And so these are the ones we're now seeing being taken over. And these ones are now available on OpenSea. And obviously, on OpenSea, you can only buy them, and you can't use them in the game because it's a different blockchain. Potentially, we'll see them coming, I think, in other sort of NFT metaverses. They'll be supported. They'll be going to be supporting the Bored Apes metaverse sort of project that's going on as well. So there will more functionality will happen. You know, I'm not saying that will necessarily drive the price of all of these up. The sort of problem is, I guess, confusion-wise, there are now getting on for 100 different Blankos NFTs. On the Blankos side, they've all been released at different prices. All have different sort of rarity value, different mint numbers. People in the Blankos marketplace know that. People on the Ethereum side don't necessarily know that. So there's quite a lot of confusion around that. We'll see how that plays out, I guess, over time. We always see arbitrage. Arbitrage is just different knowledge systems. Over time, those will equalize out. But I guess we're still in a situation where people are not spending. People on the Ethereum side, if they do buy Blankos, are buying them at a premium to what they would do on the mythical game side. But we're not really seeing the Blankos on the mythical side have sold for thousands of dollars. We're not really seeing that yet on the Ethereum side, and that will, I guess, happen when some of the more rare characters, or all the characters, are allowed to be minted over, and probably some people will be then sort of minting their sort of first serial number ones or lower serial number ones as well. So that'll be good to see. And we're keeping an eye on what's going on, hopefully updating my list a little bit quicker than I have been doing. This is an open list, so if you want to go and check it out, you can do so. I'll put the link in the box below. Anyway, thanks for watching. It's Blockchain Gaming World. We'll spend our time fiddling around with blockchain and taking lots of numbers for some reason. I guess blockchain is about numbers. Hope you find it interesting. Please subscribe to the channel. But thanks for watching, and see you again soon.